you will not go over the Jordan. You're dying here. So Moshe took it lightly. Interestingly, that's what they use it. It was kal be'enei Moshe, because he thought, look, how many times did the people who deserve to be destroyed, and because I pleaded for them, God forgave them and he took away the death sentence. For me, I never sinned. And yet he said, he will not go over, you will not go over the Jordan. God will take it back. That's what he thought. That's what he thought. So how did God receive this? V'kiven shera HaKadosh Baruch Hu, shekal hadavar be'einav. When God saw that Moshe Rabbeinu, who was the greatest individual who ever lived, and that he took God's decree that you will not go over the Jordan. And Moshe took it very lightly because God forgave a nation of sinners many times when I pleaded for them, and they were guilty. I, who was never guilty of any sin, when I prayed for myself, will not do the same and rescind his decree. So when God saw that, he took it lightly. מכיוון שלא הקדוש ברוך הוא שקל הדבר בעיניו, that the same matter was likely in his eyes, בעיניו של משה, בעינו עומד בתפילו. And so God saw that it was light, and he even didn't start to pray yet. He's not, Miyad kopetz alav v'nishba b'shmoi hagadol. God, as it were, jumped on him and swore with his ineffable name, b'shmoi hagadol, shelo yikones le'eretz Yisrael. He will not go into Israel. Shneimar, lochein lo sabiu es HaKohol hazeh, you will not bring this people into Israel. Ve'ein lachein, God used the word lachein, therefore is an oath. God swore. Lachein it means a shvua. Shneimar v'lachein nishbaiti lebeis Eli. Therefore, I swore to the house of Eli. That was the whole thing when the sons of Eli, Eli was a prophet before Shmuel, and God swore to that his progeny will not live long. מכיוון שראה משה שנחתם עליו גזר דין, when Moses saw that נחתם עליו גזר דין, that his fate was sealed, נחתם. We say גמר חסימה. May you have a final seal, SEALING, sealing of your edict for life. Simchat Torah, you should have a final edict a good one. So here it says, so I'm just saying that because nechta means is sealed. So Kivin Shira Moshe Shenechta Molav Jardin, that his fate was sealed. Gloves are a love kindness. Moshe decreed upon himself a fast. V'og uga kitana v'oma b'socha. He drew a little circle, and he split in it. V'omar Eini zos mikan ad chertivato osa gzera. I'm not going to leave this world. I'm staying in this circle until you, God, throw asunder, nullify the gzera against me. But also Shah, Ma'asa Moshe. At that time, what did Moshe do? Lovash sak. He put on sackcloth. V'nisate sak. And he wrapped himself in sackcloth. Then he's polished upper, and he threw earth at himself. V'amad b'tfilah u'b'tachnunim. He stood in prayer and in supplication, Lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, before the Holy One, blessed be He. Ad shenizdaze shamayim v'aretz, until heaven and earth trembled. V'sidrei Bereshis, all the things which God created in the beginning. Bereshis. V'amru, till the earth trembled. Moshe put on sackcloth, put earth on himself, like somebody does on Tisha B'Av, the day that we commemorate the destruction of the temple. And he fasted, and the Amro, and when the world started trembling, people said, Shema higia tzivyono shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu lechadesh sholamo. Maybe the time has come that God's going to recreate His world. Yatsa Baskol, a heavenly voice came forth from her, Adayin lo higia tzivyono shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu lechadesh sholamo. Time is not yet coming, and God will redo His world. Ella, Asher biyado nefesh kol chai. Every soul is in God. Asher biyado nefesh kol chai. And in God's hand is the soul of every living person. Beruach kol b'sar ish, and the spirit in flesh and blood. called Basarish, the flesh of every man. That is in the hands of God. Vein Ish Ela Moshe. Who's called Ish? Moshe. Shenemar Va'ish Moshe. The man Moshe Anav Ma'od. Mikol Ozav Asher Al Pnei Adama. God is saying this about Moshe, that Moshe is the most humble man on earth. Ma Asa HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So what did God do when Moshe was fasted and put earth on himself and said he's not made through a little circle like many years later, Chonei Amagil, there was a person, Choni of the circle, who said, I won't leave the circle until God sends rain. People went to him, they should pray to God for rain. Ma'asa Kadosh Baruch Hu. So what did God do? Hichrish b'chol shar v'shar shel rakia. God announced in every gate of heaven, shel rakia v'rakia b'chol beis din, and to every beis din who beis din shelo yekab lo tefillah shel Moshe. Don't accept Moshe's supplication. V'lo yalo also leponav. Mipnei shenachtam alav gzar din. It has already been sealed upon him the edict that he must die. He can't go into the Holy Land. Karvu Yavav Lamus. Also Malach Shememuna al Hachraza Avzriel Shmo, the angel that is appointed on this kind of announcement. His name is Achazio, but also Shah, Korab, Kodesh Baruch Hu, Bibahala, God, as it were, God called in Bibahala, in confusion or in a state of chaos. God, in other words, God shows in this in His level of finiteness that God listens to humankind. Moshe is a human being. God said to the angels, look here, Redu B'Behola, go quickly. B'Nalu kol she'arei rakia v'rakia. Close the gates of every heaven. She'gavar kol ha'tfilah klape maila. His supplication, his tefillah rose up to every heavenly location. Ubikshu lalos harakia mitnei kol tfilah shel Moshe. And the heavens were to go up because of the prayers of Moshe. Shahaisa tfilasoi daima lecherev. Hey, Moshe's prayer was similar to a sword. Shehu korea b'chotech. He cuts down the gates of heaven where all the angels reside. The Enomakim, he doesn't stop. Shehoisa tfilaso ve'ein shem ha'meforash. Shalomad mean God's gale. His voice, it was like a sword, and it was like the hidden real name, the essential, the name of God that you're not supposed to know. Only the Kohen Gadol recited it a number of times on Yom Kippur from the Holy of Holies. Moshe learned what that name was of God from this Zagzgil, who was the Rav, the teacher of Sofer, and the scribe, Shel B'nai Marom of the angels above. Also Shah, who Omer, on that moment it is said that Moshe was battling with the heavenly forces, with God himself. Be'eshma acharai kol rash gadol. I heard a very noisy sound, a panicky sound, stampede sound. And it's a pasuk in Yechezkel, and Baruch Kvod Hashem Mimkomo, the name of God should be Baruch should be brought into this world. Ve'ein Rash Elozia. Rash means Zia means sweat. Ve'ein Gadol Ela Moshe, and Kol Rash Gadol. Moshe is always referred to as Gadol, as big. Shedemar Gam Ha'ish Moshe Gadol Mi'oid Be'eretz Mitzrayim. At the prime happenings in Mitzrayim, Moshe was catapulted to the top. Gam Ha'ish Moshe Gadol Mi'oid Be'eretz Mitzrayim Be'einei Avdei Paro. He was very admired in the eyes of the servants of Pharaoh, Ube'einei Am, and the whole people. Moshe was a champion. He was doing all those miraculous things. And so Moshe was as a result of his greatness and what he did in Egypt, he became very great in the eyes of the servants of Pharaoh and the whole people. Moshe was like a king. Ma'u Baruch Kavod Hashem Mimkomo. So what is meant? Baruch Kavod Hashem Mimkomo. Blessed is the honor, the glory of God from His place. We say that after Chazan says Baruch Hu as Hashem Baruch. Blessed be God, who is the blessed. And blessed means drawn into this world. Baruch means being drawn in, like it's supposed to be, Baruch is when you say Baruch Atah, you're bringing God, who is in higher spheres, but you're over an orange or an apple, you're bringing God into this world. Mahu Baruch Kavod Hashem Mimkomo. Blessed is the name of God from his place. Baruch Hashem Mimkomo. Bishar Sharo Galgale Kova. Besorpo Haba She'amar Kodesh Baruch Hu. When the angels saw that God said to all the heavenly angels and courts, Lo Stablu Tfilah Shel Moshe, don't accept Moshe's tefillas, that you should lengthen his days. Below Nasa Lo Panim, and they didn't give him any favors. They didn't, because of his greatness, they didn't look at that. And below Nasan Lo Chaim, they didn't give him life. Below Hichnisu Eretz Israel, he didn't go into Israel. Amru, Baruch Kvod Hashem Mimkomo. They said, blessed is God, the glory of God from his place. She'ein lefanav maseh ponim. There is no favoritism shown by God. If God said the earthly years are 120, and God said you're going to die, your days get, then that's what's going to be whenever you try. It's not going to work. She'ein lefanav maseh ponim. God does not give show favoritism, not to a small kid, below the girl, not to a big person. ומניין שהשפלו משה באוסו הפרק 515 פעמים. How do we see, from where do we know that Moshe prayed 515 prayers at that time? Shnemar ve'eschanan, and I prayed El Hashem, to God, Beisahi Lamor, saying at that time, and the Eschanan begematria, the word Eschanan, and I prayed. This is one of the languages of prayer. Begematria Hakiabi adds up to 515. Osa Shah Amar Moshe Lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. At that time, Moshe said before God, Master of the world. Look, you have God called HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He, and Moshe calling God, Master of the world. It is open and known before you. Yigiai bitzadi, my work and my pain. Asher nistarati al Yisrael, that I suffered over being the caretaker of the Jewish people. Ad sheyu ma'aminim lishmecha, till I got them to believe in you. Kama tsar, how much pain. Nistarati, I was pained. Aleim, over the Jewish people. They only caused me tzaddis. Kama tsar nistarati, how much pain that I have over them. B'tzarasan, kach, era, b'tubasan. Oh, nice tip line. Kama tsar nistarati aleim. Ribbono Shel Olam, all this pain that I suffered because of them. The mitzvahs, teaching them the mitzvahs, Achakavati and Torah mitzvahs, till I established Torah mitzvahs as their way of life. Amarti, Kisha also, how much pain did I suffer till I got them to keep Torah and mitzvahs? Amarti, I said, Kisharisa b'tzorason. Now, when I saw all their pain, kach ela b'tovason, I should see in there the good that's going to happen to them, meaning the crossing of the Jordan, going into the Holy Land. Ba'achshav shehigia tovason shel Yisrael. Now, when the good hour has come to Israel, they're going into Israel. Ata omer li lo saber es hayadin hazeh. You're telling me you will not go after all the pain that I had in cultivating these people and leading them 40 years. Me, you tell, you will not go over this Jordan. Hare ata oisha torascha plaster. You're making your Torah that you gave to the Jews plaster. That means fraudulent. Because the seed, biyomo titain schoro. You're supposed to pay a laborer on this day of his work. Lo savo Allah Hashemesh. The sun shouldn't go down till you bring him his pay. Ki anihu. He's a poor man. They love who knows that's nafsho. He gives his whole life to make the couple dollars you're going to give him. The low yikra alecha el Hashem. And if you don't pay him off, because he has his whole soul. He risked his soul in dangerous labor to earn his pay for that day. So don't hold it back. And the sun shouldn't go down till you pay them. Kianihu, he's a poor guy. Ve'elavu nosas nafsho. He gives his soul to make this money. Lo yikora lecha. Don't hold it back so that he shouldn't call for me to punish you. So he cries to me that my employer is not paying me, and you will have a sin, and I will have to punish you. Zu hi shilum avoda shel mem shana. Is this the payment that I get for 40 years that I've dealt with these people and brought them up? Look, a guy who works one day, you made a law that the employer must pay him if he's a day laborer, he must pay him that same day because he's given his life for his job. So I given my life 40 years, and this is how you pay me back by telling me your days, you will not go over the Jordan, your days have come to an end. Zui Shilum Aboda Shel Mem Shana. Is this the payment that I get for 40 years of work, sweat and tears for these people, taking care of them? Zui Shilum, is this the payment of the Aboda Shel Mem Shana for my 40 years that I dealt with them, that I worked out for them? Shamalti, that I worked with great pain. Ad sheyu am kodesh v'neman, that I worked hard until I formed them into a nation that can be called holy and faithful. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen by itself. I worked at it. I formed them. And this is what I get for it. Losafra Sayade, you will not go over the Jordan. Shenemar the Yehuda age rate im El Am Kedoshim Neman. Shows that what kind of people I made them into. So now, Malach Samuel, an angel called Samuel, he's a Samach Mem, he's not a good angel. In fact, he's a Russia. It says right here. Malach Samuel HaRasha Reish Kol HaSatonim, who he's the head of all the devils. The Chol Shah, every moment. Haya Misaper Misaso Shel Moshe. He talked only about the death of Moshe. Moshe Agia Kate, when will it come to end already? Oh, Harega, the moment Shabo Yamus Moshe, when Moshe will die. Because Moshe was the exact opposite of Samuel, the head of the most devilish of angels. When will I get the green light to go down and take its soul? Amen. Ba'ala Bama David. regarding this statement of Samuel, when I'm going to go down and take its soul. Sefer Rasha L'Tzadik, the Rasha, the wicked one, looks at the righteous one, Umevakes Lamiso, and he wants him to die. He wants his death. He calls to God to kill him. Ein lecha rasha b'chol satonim kulam. They're learners, listeners. You should know that there isn't a Satan as bad as Samuel. He's the worst. Ve'ein lecha tzadik b'chol hanevim k'Moshe. And there isn't a tzaddik amongst all the prophets like Moshe. So here, Samuel, the worst of all the angels, the most vile, devilish of all the angels. And Moshe was the greatest person who ever lived. There was never a tzaddik, b'chol hanevim k'Moshe. Shneimar lo kam navi oid b'Yisrael k'Moshe. There never arose a prophet amongst the Jews like Moshe. Asher Yodo Hashem Panim El Panim, that God made him, knew him face to face. All the other prophets, when they felt prophecy coming on them, they flipped out. They fell to the floor. They lost their consciousness, everything except the prophecy coming into their mind. It looked like they had a spell of some sort when they would go into prophecy, except Moshe. Moshe could stand face to God. What is this analogous to? Moshe lama davar daima la'adam shenizdamen lesuudas chasam v'kala. This is analogous to a person who comes to a wedding, a meal for the chassan and the kala. V'haya also ha'ish mitzapeh v'omer Moshe yagia simchasam v'esmecha bo. And people, this particular individual's wedding, when is this wedding going to happen already? That I will take joy from it. Kach hoya samo. Similarly, this devil Samuel, Harasha, this wicked one, Mitzapeh, Nishmasa Shel Moshe. He couldn't wait till he's going to take Moshe's neshama, till he gets permission from God to take it. B'Amar Moshe Masai Michael Boiche. When will it come already a time that the angel Michael, Michael, the angel of the Jewish people, Boiche, he'll be crying. I want to see him crying. Bani, Mamale Peace and I'll be joking. When will that Moshe die already? Acha Omar Lo Michael, until Michael said, Ma Rasha Ani Boicha Ata Misachek. Hey, you SOB, He said Michael. Michael said to Samael, the devilish angel, who's called by the Rabbanan Harasha, wicked one, until Michael said to him, Ma Rasha Ani Boche, you wicked one, you want to see me cry? Ba'atam Misachek, and you're laughing, and you'll be laughing? Al Tishmechi, Al Tishmechu, I have tea, li, ki nafalti, kamti, ki eshe b'choshech Hashem orli. Don't bet on this. Ki nafalti mi pitirasa shel Moshe. I have fallen, Michael said, from the death of Moshe. But Kamti, I have got up. Miparatzoso shel Yehoshua. Moshe taking over. Bishah shehipil lamed al malachim. When Joshua slew 31 kings of Canaan, ki eshe b'choshech, b'churban be'ayis rishon be'akron, when I will be sitting in darkness, when the first and second temples will be destroyed. Hashem Orli, God will be my light. L'moisa Mashiach, when Mashiach comes. Ad kan also l'Moshe Shah Achas. V'oisa Shah Omar Moshe Lipnei HaKodesh Baruch Hu. And all this time, Moshe got an hour, and in that hour, Omar Moshe Lipnei HaKodesh Baruch Hu. Moshe said to the Holy One, blessed be He, Rebbeinu Shalom, Im ein Torah machnis osi l'Eretz Yisrael. If you're not letting me go into Eretz Yisrael, hiniach osi ba'olam hazeh be'echye v'lo amus. Okay, you're not going to let me go into Eretz Yisrael. Let me live, and I shouldn't die. Amar lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God said to him, LaMoshe, Im lo amischa be'olam hazeh, if I don't kill you, if I don't cause you to die in this world, how can I make you live? If you're not going to die in this world, you can't be in both worlds. So if you're not going to die in this world, this earthly world, how will I be able to bring you back to life in the Olam Haba? Below Yoid. Elashata Oysa Torasi plaster, you're making my Torah fraudulent. Shekasu Torasi al you know, my Torah is written through by your hand. There's no person who's saved from God's hand. Amar Moshe Lipnei HaKodesh Baruch Hu. Moshe said before the Almighty, blessed be He, the Holy One, blessed be He. Rebbeinu Shalom, Imei Nato Maknis Osi Eretz Yisrael. If you're not going to let me go into Eretz Yisrael, Iniach Osi Kechayes Hatzadeh, let me be, I want to live in Israel, I'll live like the animals, like Chayes Hatzadeh, the animals of the field. Shehein Ochlin Asabim, they eat grass. Bishoshim Maim, they drink the water from the lakes. B'chayin, and they're alive. B'royin Esoilam. Hey, this is a pretty good description. That this world is that Moshe Rabbeinu, who has all this uh, wonderful past, and God just tells him now, look, how can I make you live in the next world if you don't let me take you out of this world? But Moshe wants to be in this world and see this world. This world is the world. That's let me be like the animals then. Takti nafshi kachas mehem. Amalo. Rabloch. You're talking too much. Amalapon everybody shalaylam. Being low hiniachosi. בעולם הזה כעוף זה שהוא פורח בכל ארבע כערוכות של העולם. Let me be like a bird who flies in all corners of the world. ומלקט לזוינוי בכל יום. אני gathers his food every day. And he goes back to his nest at night. Let me be like that. Shakti and Nafshi, Kakas, man, let my soul be like one of these, like one of those birds. I'm a little Ravloch. Just you're thinking too much. Mahu Ravloch, what is God saying by saying that? Amalo Ravloch, Asher Dibarto. Kevin, it's too much what you're speaking. I'm not, you're not going to get it. Kevin Shara Moshe, She'ain Bria, Yochayla Lahatzilo, Miderach Amavis. Moshe said that there is no creation that can save him. Miderach Amavis, from this path of death that God has decreed for all men. Omar, on that moment he said, Hatzur Tamim Polo. Okay, all that God does is true. Hatzur is the rock, meaning God. Tamim Polo, his actions are perfect. That's called Tzodik Adin. He's giving, he's justifying what God does. His actions are perfect. Kikol Dracha Mishpat. All God's ways are justice. El Emunah is a God of faith. The Ein Ovel. There's no improper doing. Tzadik V'Yashahu. God is all righteous and he's straight. There's, he said 120 years, that's the most a man gets, and that's it. Ma Asa Moshe, so what did Moshe do then? Noto as Megillah, he took the scroll because of Alel Shem Amaporish. He wrote on the scroll God's the Shem Amaporish, the declared the name that you're not supposed to know. Only the Kohen Gadol used it, and they did everything to when he used it that one day on Yom Kippur, that people shouldn't learn it. Besefer Hashir Adayin Lo Mole Lislov Achi Gia Arega Shabo Yamus Moshe. Also saw Omar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Gabriel. In that moment, Moshe accepted it, and he wrote, also saw Omar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Gabriel. So God, at that time, when still the written that Moshe died, was not yet written in the scroll. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu Gabriel. God called Gabriel, and he told him, Gabriel, say Ba'avi Nishmaso Shel Moshe. Go down and bring me the Neshama of Moshe. Amar Lefonav, Gabriel said, Master of the world, Mishahu Shako Keneged Shishim Ribui, somebody who has the weight of 600,000 Jews. Eich ani yachol lirais b'maisa. How can I look what this man did for 600,000 people? He has all the good deeds on his back. How can I see his death? ומי שיש בו דבורים אלה, איך אני יכול לעשות לו קצב? How can I make an end to him? אחר כך אמר לו למיכאל, okay, Gabriel, the angels should also refuse God. That doesn't force them. But now God talks to the angel of the Jews, Michael. Go and bring the soul of Moshe. Amar Lefonav. So Michael says to God, Rabbeinu Shalom, Master of the world, Ani Yisi Lo Rab. I taught Moshe. Vehu Hoya Lila Talmud, and he was my student. Lo Yochel Ani Liras B'Moshe. I can't see him die. Ve'akar Kach Omar LeSamuel HaRasha. Then God said to Samuel HaRasha, after Michael, Gabriel wouldn't go and take that Moshe's soul. Say, Bobby, Nishmasach Shemaisha. Hey, that's what you've been wanting to do all this time. Bring me Moshe's soul. Miyad Lobash Kas. He took out his angry appearance, B'chagar Charbo, and he put on his sword, Samuel. Benisatev Alxorius, and he dressed himself with cruelty. And he went down to Moshe. Kivan Shera also, Shehu Yosef, V'Kosev Shem HaMefarish. And Samuel saw that Moshe was writing on a scroll the highest, the essential name of God that nobody's supposed to know except the Kohen Gadol and Moshe. The Zohar Ma'arehu Doime L'Shemesh, and the shine of Moshe's face was like the sun. V'hu Doime L'Malach Hashem Tzva'os, and Moshe was like an angel of God. Hoya Mishara. Hey, Samuel got scared. Mishara Samuel Moshe Bamar. Badai Shein Hamalachim Yecholim Litol Nishmaso Shel Moshe. And he said, for sure, the angels can't take Moshe's soul. V'terem Shehera Samuel Es Atzmo LeMoshe Hoya Moshe Yodea Sheba Samuel. Before Samuel came to Moshe, Moshe knew that he was coming. The Kibbutz Shirah Samuel as Moshe Alzata Urada. Samuel got scared like anything. Bashil Kayuleda. He got frightened like anything. Below Matzah, Pischain Pel, and Daber Moshe. He couldn't even bring himself to talk to Moshe. Achama Moshe until Moshe said to Samuel, to this good for nothing Samuel. Ain't shalom omar Hashem l'rishoyim. There's no peace, God said to the wicked. That's you. Amar Tasa Bekam, what are you doing here? Amar Lito Lishmasch, I'm here to take your soul. Lito Lishmascha Bosi. Amar Lo, Mi Shiglecha. Who sent you? Amar Lo, Mi Shebara Eskol Habrios. The one who created all the creatures sent me. Amar Lo, Einaton Notel Nishmasi. You can't take my soul. Amalo Kol Boy Olam Nishmasan Misurin Liodi. All the souls in the world are given over to me. Amalo. Moshe said to him, Yesh bi koyach mikol boy olam. I have powers that no one in the world, kol boy olam, and all those who enter the world don't have the power that I have. Amalo Mako Chacha. So we'll ask him, what is your power? Amalo. Ani ben Amram. I am the son of Amram. Sheyatati Meme'ei Imi Mohu. I came out of the womb of my mother circumcised. Below Nisrachti. I didn't need anybody to circumcise me. Ubo b'yom shenolדתי מצאתי פסחון peh. The day I was born, I found a pishchon peh, something to say. V'alachti b'ragli dibarti im avi v'imi. The day I was born, I went to my parents and I said to them, Bafilu cholav lo yanakti. I hadn't even nursed milk. This is Moshe telling Samuel when I was, same day I was born. Kshayishi ben shloisha chadoshim, when I was 3 months old. Hey, we're learning things all about Moshe's biography. Hisabati, I said prophecy. I was 3 months old. V'amati sha'asin ani lekabel Torah mitoich. I said in my prophecy that I am destined to receive the Torah mitoch from a fiery from fiery fire. By God would be appearing to me in fire. Ukshaishi mahalach b'chutz. When I was going outside, nichnasli paltruin shel melech v'natalti keser me'al rosho. When I was walking outside, I took the crown off in Egypt, probably Pharaoh. Ukshaishi ben shmonim shana, when I was 80, Asisi also Shemosim, I did miracles. b'Mitzrayim, v'otzeisi shishim ribu. I took out 600,000. Le'nei kol Mitzrayim. Egypt couldn't put a finger against me in the eyes of all of Egypt. V'karati et hayam, and I split the sea. L'shnayim, l'shtei masar kroim, into into 12 openings. Each tribe went through a different, a different part of the sea that was made. It wasn't. It was water in 12 different areas were made dry and water coming from the sides. V'apachti as moral masuk, and I changed the bitter to sweet. V'alisi v'dibarti derech b'shamayim. V'ayisi topes b'malach b'milcham tom shel malachim. I went up to heaven and I grabbed angels. I were in their struggles. I was right there. V'kibalti Torah shel eish, and I received the Torah of fire. V'darti tachas kisei eish, and I lived while I was in heaven under the fiery seat throne of God. Tachas amud eish. I was sheltered under the pillar of fire. V'dibarti imo, and I spoke with him, with God, panim b'panim, face to face. So what are you doing here? Get out of here! Look who you're talking to. Moshe is telling him all his tremendous strengths. V'nitzachti b'pamalia shel Milo. I defeated the supernal family. Begalosi Roseam Livnei Adam, and I brought their secrets to people, to humans. The Kibalti Torah Mimino Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and I received the Torah from the right hand of God, Holy One. The Lamadati Osa Israel. I taught the Torah to the Jews. Vasisi Milchama im Sichon, and I had a war with Sichon and Og, two giants and formidable enemies, and I defeated them. Shnei Gibore Umo Sa'olam, they were the Sichon and Og were the mighty ones from the whole world. Shebishas Hamabul Lo Higia Mayim Likashulehan Mipnei Dovhon. Sichon and Og were so high that in the time of the Mabul, the water of the flood didn't even reach their ankles. They were such big giants. They hung on to Noah's Ark. The Marati Chama Libnei Ramadati Chama Bilabana Berum Oilam. I caused the sun and the moon to stand still. V'ikishim b'mata shebiyodi baraktim, and with my I smote them, these two kings, with my stick. They were so high that the floodwaters didn't reach their, you can imagine, their ankles. And I smote them with a stick. The stick that he parted that way with his stick that had God's name on it. ואמרתי והקיסם במטה שביודי והרגתי מי יש בבוי עולם שיכול לעשות כן? Do you know anybody else who could do all these things that I mentioned to you? This is his conversation with Samuel. Lech Russia Mikan, get the hell out of here, Russia. Samuel. Lech Russia Mikan, you wicked one, get out of here. Ein Lacha Leimar Cain. You can't say that you want to take my soul. Lech Barach Nirponai. Get out of here. Escape from me. Get out. Eini Noisei Nishmasi Loch. I'm not giving my soul to you. Miyad Chozer Samo. Chozer Samo went and Beheshi Vadover Lifnei Agvura. Samo, after all is said and done, he's an agent of God to take lives. He's a SOB of the first order, but God made him like that. And he made himself even worse. Amallah Kodesh Baruch Hu Samuel. God, the Holy One, blessed be He, said to Samuel, Baba vi nishmasi shel Moshe. I told you, go get me Moshe's soul. Miyad sholab chabo. So right away he took out his sword, mitara, from its case. The Omar al Moshe, and he stood on top of Moshe. Miyad kotzap olav Moshe. Moshe got angry at him, but not unless Hamata, and in his stick he took Miyado. Shechakuk Moshe Mamapoyer, that God's name is inscribed on the stick. Upogabo Samuel, and he smacked Samuel Bechol Kocho with all Moshe's strength, till he chased him away. Shema Meporash, and Moshe ran after him with the name of God that you don't pronounce, the Meporash. That is the name of God. When we say we try not to, we say, we don't say God's whole name. We say Yud-Kei-Vav-Kei. We say, well, what is it? And that's not even the Shema Meporash. Imagine the Shema Meporash. Yoratzachra b'shem Meporash v'notal Keren Hodo mibein Einav v'iver es Einav. Moshe blinded Samuel. Ad kan also the Moshe. To this point, God tolerated Moshe, and he. But what's the end? We'll hear that. Seif Raga Yotza Basko V'Omra. The last minute of Moshe's life, a basko, a voice, went forth. A heavenly voice went forth. Higia Seif Misascha. Moshe, your time's up. I'm a Moshe Lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moshe said, before the Holy One, blessed be He. Everybody Shalom, Master of the world. Zachor Isha Hayom Shani Gleis Alai Bisneh. Remember the day that you appeared to me in the burning bush, Martali, Lava, Lecha, Lech, Ba'aslechacha El Paro. I'm sending you to Paro. V'hotles Ami, B'nai Yisrael Mimisrayim. He's telling us, he stood to the God in the very last moment of his that he was given to be alive. Do you remember, God, that when you appeared to me in the burning bush and you told me, go to Pharaoh and tell him, let my people go. I'm taking the Jews out of Mitzrayim. Do you remember the day that I was standing on the Mount Sinai? Our boy Myoin, our boy Loila. I was standing with you 40 nights, 40 days and 40 nights. Bivakosha mimcha, al timsireni biyad malach hamavis. Don't give me into the hand of the angel of death. Yotus Basko, the Amra lo, al tishari. A heavenly voice went out, and voice is calling telling God the moments that he was God appeared to him, and he now his request of God is not that he shouldn't die, but he shouldn't be given into the hands of an angel of death. Yotzla Basko Bamra Hello. Abasco, a heavenly voice, went out and said to him, Al Tishara. Okay, don't be afraid, Moshe. Ani ba'atzmi metapo b'cha. Okay, I myself, God himself, no angels. I will deal with you. Ani metapo b'cha. Ubikfurascha, and in your burial. Osasha Omad Moshe. Kilesh Atzmo. Slopping, Moshe got up and he Kiddush made himself holy, Slopping through fire. V'yorad HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Mishmei Shemaim, God came down from the heaven, the heaven of heavens. Mishmei Shemaim El Yonim, from the highest place in heaven. Nitol Nishmaso Shel Moshe. Hate Moshe won the battle. No angel could take his soul. He scared them away. And, Gabriel and Michael didn't want to take him. Look, anything that has to do with creatures in this world, they have choices. So God himself came down. Biyarad HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Mitzmei Shamayim El Yonim, Lito Nishmaso Shel Moshe. God himself came down from the heavenly, the highest points in heaven, to take the soul of Moshe. And Conclude with this. Page. And Beshlosha Malachi Ashoras Imo. 3 administering angels were with God when he came down to take Moshe's soul. Who were they? Michael, the Gabriel, the Zagzagel. Michael, Hitzia, Mitraso, shel Moshe. Michael spread the bed on which Moshe was to die, and he put a spread on it. The Gabriel, Pires, Beged, shel boots, Midrash, and Gabriel put a pillow of linen at Moshe's head. V'zagzagel miraglosav, and Gagel put a pillow at Moshe's feet. Yisrael mitzad echad. Yisrael was on one side of Moshe, but Gabriel mitzad acher Gabriel. With God, they came. Remember, they wouldn't take Moshe's nefesh by themselves until God himself said, I'm taking care of this. Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu Moshe. God said to Moshe, Moshe, Hashkev Einecha Ze Agav Ze. Put your eyes one on top of the other. I don't know exactly what that looks like. The Hashkev Einecha Ze Agav Ze. And Moshe did that. God told him, Hashkev Einecha Ze Agav Ze. And V'hishkip Einav Ze Agav Ze. Then God told them, Hinei Yodecha Alach Yedecha Al HaChazeh. Place your hand on your chest. Hiniach Yado Al HaChazeh. He put his hand on his chest. Amalo, Hakev Raglecha Ze Al Gav Ze. Put one foot on top of the other. He kept Raglev Ze Al Gav Ze. So he did that. Also Shah Kara HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Neshama. And that moment after he told Moshe how to prepare his body, what to do with his body, his eyes, his hands, his feet. At that time, but also Shah Kara HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Neshama Mitoch Gufo. God called to the neshama that was in Moshe's body, Amar. God says to the neshama, Iti, my daughter. God calls the neshama that is from him, my daughter. Mea v'eshim shana shitraptich Yisra begufo shel Moshe. I brought about that you, Neshama, my daughter, BT, should be in Moshe's body 120 years. Achshav, now, Higia Titzcha Lotes, now you have to come out. Tzii Al Tachri, come out, don't delay. Amnala Ponecha, the Neshama said to God, Ibn Shalai, the master of the world, Yodas Ani Sha'ata Eloka Kol Haruchos. I know that you are the God of all the spirits, of all the heavenly and all the heavenly beings, all the spirits. Kol Pashois, Nefesh HaChaim Ba'Mesim Mesurim Biyotcha. All souls of the living and the dead are in your hands. V'ata Barisani, you created me. V'ata Yatzar Etartani, you formed me. V'ata Nasatani Megufa Shemaisha, you placed me into the body of Moshe. May have had Simchana, 120 years. V'achshav yesh guf tahar. V'olam yeshem megufa shel Moshe. Is there any holier body in the world than Moshe? You know, Shelo nira bo ruach shrucha me'olam. Nothing bad was seen in his presence, in his body, and any foul odor was came from his body, Mi'olam. Below Rima Batoela, no worms, snails came out of him. Ani, oh heavens, oh so. God, where are you going to send me? This is holy. This is this wonderful thing. You put me into his body. He's the best person that ever lived. Now, where are you going to send me? There's no place you can send me that's better than him. So I want to stay here. So I love him. I don't want to leave him. I don't want to leave his body. Amala Kadosh Baruch Hu. God said to her, Neshama, Tzii Al Tachri, leave and don't delay. Vani Maila Oisach Lishmei Shamai. I'll bring you up to the heavens of heaven, Helyonim, the uppermost parts of heaven. Vani Moshivcha Tachas Kisek Poidi, and I'm gonna put you under my throne. Eichel Kruvim, Usrafim, Bigidudim. Hey, I'm going to put you in the highest places so you don't have to be scared or, there's holiness that's up here that is greater than the earthly holiness of Moses, of Moshe Rabbeinu. She said, the soul said to the master of the world. Nechel, the Eichel, Shkinoscha, Mimorom, Yadu Shnei Malachim. From the heavens above, from your divine presence, Yadu same Malachim. Two Malachim came out. Uzzah, Uziel. The names Uzzah and Uzzah. V'chamdu b'nois artois, and they desired the daughters of the earth. V'ishkishu darkom, and they became perverted. They destroyed their heavenly ways, and they had this lust for the earthly daughters. Ad shetolisa osam bein haaretz l'rakia. Since, and what did you do? You hung them between heaven and earth. Avo ben Amram, but ben Amram, the son of Amram, Moshe, miyayim sheniglei love besneh, from the day that you revealed yourself to him from the burning bush. Lo bali ishto. He didn't have relations with his wife Shnemar, but the Daber Miriam be'Aaron be'Moshe, and that's what Miriam and Aaron talked about Moshe al odos ha'isha akushish asher lokach, about the beautiful woman that he lokach ki isha kushish lokach. He took a beautiful woman, and Moshe was from the time you spoke to him at the staff. They didn't have relations, and this is what Miriam and Aaron spoke about. That hey, there's no such thing by us that a male prophet. Or a female prophetess can't have relations with their mates? Of course they can. It's not Jewish, but they didn't know that God told them that he should separate from his wife. So, Rakosha Mimcha, please. Tanicheni begupo shel Moshe. Let me be. There's no better place than the body of Moshe. Leave me in the body of Moshe, the soul said. That was Moshe's soul. Moshe Shah, Nashku HaKadosh Baruch Hu. At that moment, when the soul pleaded to be left in Moshe's body, Moshe Shah, in that moment, Nashku HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God kissed Moshe. But not so much Maso. He drew his soul out with a kiss. Benishika's path with God. This is, as it were, don't let the corporeal picture and, this is all spiritual things that are happening here, and God has no lips with which to kiss, but he has a way of that's called Nishika, up going to the depths of Moshe's soul and drawing it out in the loveliest way, in the softest way. Vaya Kodesh Baruch Hu Kaviyachol Bocha, and God cried, saying, Mi akum li im mereim, mi shativ li im pole oven, who will stand for me against the evil ones and those who do sin. Beruach HaKodesh Baruch Hu, Omer, and Beruach HaKodesh Omer, Velo Kom Navi Oid B'Yisrael Kamosha. I said, there never arose a prophet in Israel like Moshe. Shemayim Boichim, the heavens were crying. God himself was crying. And the heavens were crying, B'Omrim, Abba Chosid Min Haaretz, Chosid left the land. That's Moshe. Eretz Boichav Eretz, land cried. V'yasher ba'adam ayin, there is no straight one amongst men, no longer. Ukishabikesh Yehoshua, Rabbi, Lomatzau, when Yehoshua was looking for Moshe and couldn't find him, he was crying, Omer, Hoshia Hashem, Ki gama chasi, ki pasu amuni mibnei adam. Redeem us, Hashem, because chassid, holy men, are no longer in the world. Faithful men are from amongst men. Though no longer after Moshe left, they don't exist. And the angel said, Simchas Hashem also. God, Moshe did the holy, righteous work of God. Israel Omrim, and the Jewish people said, Moshe died, Umishpatav im Israel, his judgments with the whole Jewish people. He judged them 40 years. Elo ve'elo yomin, they all said, Yavai shalom yanuchu al mishkavosam. Let peace come to him and he should rest on his holy place. Holech Nivcho. What is that? And Israel said, Mishpatav im Israel. People of Israel were saying, and his ordinances with Israel. Elu all of them said, Yavo Shalom, Yonichu al Mishkabaisam, Holech, Navacho. All were saying, he will come in peace. They will rest on their resting places. He who walks in his integrity. I said that about Moshe. And the Midrash ends. This is the way the Midrash ends. Finishes the whole Midrash. Zecher Tzadik Lebracha. The memory of a tzaddik will be for a blessing. Nishmaso l'chaye ha'olam haba, and his soul will be in the world to come. Amen. Ken Yeratzo. For sure, so should it be. God's will. Baruch Hashem lo'olam, amen b'amen. That blessed be God forever. Amen, amen. True, true. That's how the Midrash ends. That's it. So,
Thank you, Rabbi.
oh, it's already 10:30. Okay. Let me wish you all a very happy Simchas Torah. Uh, Simchas Torah is the actual uh, day of the tragedies of a year ago. October 7th is the English date, but Simchas Torah is the Jewish date. And let's hope that 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 we will see miracles on this day, just like we saw tragedies on last year on Simchas Torah. We should see miracles and happiness on this day with the full victory of the Jews over their enemies and the the return of Israel to the Holy Land. That means all of us. So,
So much for tonight, Rabbi.
anybody have anything they'd like to say?
Good Yontov.
With Yom Tif. Hey, we got this. I don't think that we ever learned all this before. We got a lot of insights of how what this world meant to what it means to live upon this world, how we should cherish every minute that we're on and not waste it. It's like Moshe didn't want to live. Moshe, who had such glory,
Yeah, we learned a lot, Rabbi. Thank you so much for teaching us.
Yes, thank you, Rabbi, and good Yontov.
Yeah, uh, both his visual and verbal was closed. So I think he has no more communication right now. Yes, yes. Okay, each of you. Yeah, good Yanta. Yeah.
Good Yontov, guys.
Good night.